Melanie Garza.
Alan Andrews from Emily Hartzell.
Basil Segos.
Robert Elgren for Commissioner Segos.
Max von Helwig.
Here.
Josh Sheehoff.
Jackie Gold for Jack Sheehan.
Vincent Sapienza.
Joe Murin for Vincent Sapienza.
Mark Shaw.
Yes.
Liam Cohen.
Okay, a motion and a second, please, for the approval of the minutes of March 27th.
So moved.
Second.
Great. They've been circulated for the board's review. Are there any comments or changes in the minutes? Not hearing any. Is there any opposition to the proposed resolution? Not hearing any. It's adopted. We need a motion and a second. The approval of supplemental resolution 135 authorizing the issuance of the fiscal 2018 series FF bonds as recommended by the Finance Committee. Motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
So the proposed resolution has been recommended by the Finance Committee. Any questions or comments? Any opposition to the proposed resolution? And if not, it's adopted. A motion and a second for the approval of some amended investment guidelines.
So moved.
One second.
Second.
Great. The authority's investment guidelines have been updated to allow for monies in the subordinated indebtedness fund and the construction fund to be invested in government money market funds and to update the guidelines to current practices. A black line has been provided. The authority's Executive Director Olga Chernin is here to answer any questions. Do you have any questions?
So let me just give some background here. There are a lot of changes, mostly formatting changes. The only substantive change, as Alan just explained, is really allowing for investment in governmental money market funds, in the subordinate indebtedness fund and construction fund. So as you might or might not recall, money markets is eligible investments in bond resolutions, but it's a pretty broad authorization. It just asks for the highest rating from the rating agencies that rate our bonds. During 2008 crisis, and then when sort of commercial paper was under a lot of pressure, my predecessor recommended and the board approved a change to the investment guidelines, and the money markets were removed from the investment guidelines, so they were no longer ineligible investments for these two funds. Back in October of last year, there was a money market funds reform. Was it last year or maybe 2 years ago now? That reform actually segregated money market funds into three major groups. Governmental money markets, they have stable net asset value, NAV. They don't have any liquidity fees or gates. And essentially, these funds required to invest in US Treasuries and government funds. And these are investments that are already, we already invest in our funds in those investments. So this is really, to provide for flexibility in investments. Sometimes we have some balances where we looking to find a particular security with particular attributes, maturity, or mainly maturity that fits well within our requirement. And this would allow us to park the monies for a short period of time in money markets, and then procure for that longer term investment that we were looking for. And meanwhile earn some interest as opposed to just keep money in cash. And with interest rates now finally breaking that zero And we're looking at some, healthy levels of investment. We definitely want to make sure that cash is not sitting, money is not sitting idle in cash, and that we invest funds and earn some interest on that. So that's the change.
On that note, any questions? Any opposition to the proposed resolution? Not hearing any, it's adopted. We need a motion and a second for the approval of directors' and officers' insurance.
So moved.
Second.
Great. This will authorize the authority to enter into agreements with 4 insurance companies to provide $50 million of directors, employees, and officers' insurance. Currently, we're expecting to enter into agreements with AIG as the primary insurer and Abson, Liberty, and Zurich as secondary insurers. Not to exceed amount is $260,000, which includes a large cushion on what we expect it to be. Last year, we paid about $200,000. In the fall, the authority, along with other bond financing entities, will be issuing an RFP seeking a broker for the D&O insurance for future procurements. Any questions on this one? Any opposition to the resolution? Not hearing any, it's adopted. And finally, we need a report of Max von Holweg as the authority's governance committee and joint audit committee chairman.
Both the charter of the audit committee and the charter of the governance committee require that we conduct an annual self-evaluation and submit a report of our activities in the last calendar year. We've done so, and in the package, I think you'll see that there is the report of the Joint Audit Committee and also the report of the Governance Committee as to our activities, and also a finding by each respective committee that we found our functioning to be satisfactory and in compliance with the respective charters, and that report is in your package.
Great. No action on this, Deborah. This is just other than the action that Max has taken. So, thank you, Max. Any further business? If none, a motion to adjourn in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Opposition? Not hearing any. We're adjourned. Thank you.